$73 billion lost, 3 times NASA's budget burned, on a tech bet that never took off. Inside Meta, Mark Zuckerberg cut 1,500 jobs and kept building, even as internal data revealed that Horizon Worlds never broke 200,000 users. How could a visionary ignore every red flag and take Silicon Valley to the brink? Here is how the reality turned into a lesson no one wanted to learn. $73 billion. That's what Meta's Reality Labs burned through chasing a dream. The losses stack up to more than $10 billion every single year, money vanishing faster than entire government agencies spend. That's 3 times NASA's annual budget, gone on a virtual world most people never even tried. Take the gross domestic product of over 130 countries, places like Iceland, Senegal, or Nicaragua. Meta's Metaverse experiment lost more than all of them make in a year. Put another way, with $73 billion, every Meta employee could have walked away with a check for $1.2 million. Instead, the cash fueled a project whose price tag rivaled putting humans on Mars, but delivered little more than empty digital lobbies and silent cartoon avatars. The numbers are so large they almost lose meaning, until you realize that no other tech bet in history has burned this much capital, this quickly, with so little to show for it. Every dollar spent was a wager that the metaverse would become the next big thing. Instead, it became a cautionary tale written in red ink. Inside Meta's headquarters, the numbers painted a brutal picture. Horizon Worlds, the flagship metaverse platform, never cracked 200,000 monthly users, according to leaked internal dashboards. That's fewer people than visit a mid-sized theme park in a single weekend, for a product that cost more than some space programs. Meanwhile, Reality Labs ballooned to nearly 17,000 employees at its peak. Do the math on $73 billion lost, and the company could have handed every Meta worker a check for $1.2 million and still spent less than it did on empty virtual plazas. For all the talk of building a new digital frontier, most of those worlds sat deserted, their cartoon avatars frozen in place. Executives called the spending an investment in the future, but the future never arrived. The gap between ambition and reality was staggering. Billions funneled into a project that could not even keep its own staff engaged, let alone the rest of the world. As the losses piled up, the real question became harder to ignore. How did leadership keep justifying it all? In March 2014, Mark Zuckerberg signed off on a $2 billion deal to buy Oculus VR. At the time, it looked like a bold side bet, a way to get ahead of the next big thing after smartphones. But the real turning point came in 2020, when Apple's iOS privacy changes threatened Meta's core business. Suddenly, targeted ads, the company's money machine, were under attack, with internal forecasts warning of a $10 billion annual hit. Zuckerberg saw the writing on the wall. He decided Meta couldn't just be a social network anymore. It had to control the next computing platform, whatever it took. In October 2021, he went all in. Facebook became Meta. Nearly 17,000 people were hired into Reality Labs, swelling the division's ranks to 1 in 5 employees. The company's future was declared, the metaverse would be the next internet, and Meta would build it. There was no plan B. Dissent inside the boardroom didn't matter. Zuckerberg had already burned the ships behind him. The vision was everywhere: keynotes, demos, and splashy announcements. But behind the scenes, the cracks showed early. At the 2022 Connect event, Meta showed off full-body avatars with legs. Leaked messages later revealed those legs did not actually exist in the product. The demo was smoke and mirrors, a preview of a future that Reality Labs couldn't deliver. Still, the spending and hiring continued, driven by one man's conviction that he could bend the future to his will. ChatGPT reached 100 million users in just 2 months, rewriting the rules of Silicon Valley overnight. While Meta's engineers toiled away on cartoon avatars, OpenAI's new tool became the fastest-growing consumer app in history. Inside Meta, top AI researchers watched resources flow toward virtual reality headsets and empty digital plazas, even as their own projects struggled for attention. Some left for rivals, frustrated by the company's tunnel vision. In 2023, Reality Labs posted a $16 billion loss, the single worst year yet. Zuckerberg responded with talk of a year of efficiency, but the spending did not stop. Instead, Meta tried to hedge its bets, launching the Llama AI model in mid-2024. But Reality Labs kept its full budget, forcing teams to split focus between virtual reality and AI. The numbers did not lie: billions lost, and AI momentum slipping away. By January 2025, the retreat was official. Layoff notices hit 1,500 Reality Labs employees, gutting entire teams overnight. Key Metaverse projects were quietly shut down. Many of the people who built Meta's grand vision found themselves out of work, sacrifice, so the company could chase the AI race it nearly missed. 3 theories circulate about why Mark Zuckerberg doubled down as the losses mounted. The first paints him as a master strategist, playing a long game most people could not see. In this version, the metaverse was never the real goal. It was a cover story for building out the world's biggest AI infrastructure. Meta spent tens of billions on data centers, custom chips, and technical talent, all of which now power the company's AI push. If that was the plan, it was expensive, but maybe not as reckless as it looked. The second theory is about hedging bets. With Apple's Vision Pro on the horizon, Zuckerberg kept Reality Labs alive just in case the market turned. If Apple cracked the code, Meta could scale up again. If not, the losses were contained to a single division. But there is a third, simpler explanation: ego. Zuckerberg had already defied the odds once with Facebook. This time he wanted to prove the world wrong again, even as the evidence piled up against him. Each theory has its believers, but none can erase the fact that billions were spent chasing a future nobody asked for. Quest 3 earned praise from reviewers as the best VR headset on the market. The hardware worked. The real problem wasn't technical, it was human. One engineer laid off after years at Reality Labs summed it up: "We built incredible tech, but the world just didn't care. For every viral demo or keynote promise, there were months of silent lobbies and missed engagement targets. Teams poured themselves into projects that never found an audience, watching metrics flatline while the company doubled down. Investors watched billions disappear from their portfolios, caught between hope and disbelief. Some wrote open letters demanding Meta cut its losses, but the spending continued. The cost wasn't just financial. It was hundreds of careers upended, dreams postponed, and years of work erased with a single email. For those inside, the distinction between conviction and stubbornness was anything but academic. They lived the consequences. The lesson is clear. Even the best technology can't force a market to care. Ambition alone isn't enough. Sometimes, believing too much in the future means missing the reality right in front of you. Reality Labs isn't gone, but it's a shadow of its old self. The metaverse dream has been boxed up and put on a shelf, replaced by a new obsession: artificial intelligence. Today, Meta's hardware focus is the Ray-Ban smart glasses, AI-powered, always on, and selling faster than any virtual reality headset ever did. The company's open-source Llama models are making waves in the AI community, but there is a catch: they do not generate direct profit. While rivals like Google push Gemini, Microsoft rides its OpenAI partnership, and Anthropic launches Claude, Meta's strategy is to give away its best tech for free, hoping to shape the future of AI from the inside out. Reality Labs' budget has been slashed by nearly a third. Teams that once built sprawling virtual worlds now work on voice assistants, smart wearables, and generative AI tools. The metaverse isn't dead, but it's been reduced to a side project, a lesson learned. In the race to dominate the next wave of technology, Meta is no longer the bold pioneer. It's a fast follower, trying to catch up to competitors who saw the AI shift coming and bet everything on it. Today, the tech world pivots to AI while the scars of Meta's $73 billion gamble remind us, even visionaries can be blinded by conviction. Markets, not ambition, set the pace of progress. For every bold bet, reality has the final say. What would you have done differently? Let's discuss below.